Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. The dark day has arrived. Satan has come to claim his throne on Earth. Teemo will be your latest playable character in 2XKO. So, Teemo, you can see the trailer's running here. He's little. In fighting game parlance, he is what we would call a rat character. And on that note here, just like some of the other characters we've seen in 2XKO, like say Blitzcrank, I did play Teemo 2 years ago. He was definitely more unfinished at the time, but I do have some insights into the character. And of course, we're going to break the trailer down and go through everything he's capable of. And also, I'll give you some additional things that might not be in the trailer, although, to be forewarned, the info I have might be out of date. Certainly changes have been made to the character, so not everything I played 2 years ago may be present in the current build of the game. But you can see here, just by the trailer, Teemo is annoying. He's designed to be annoying. Like, that's part of the DNA. That's part of the brand. And hell, even though it's off-brand for me, like back in the day when I did play League, I did play Teemo. Mostly because he was annoying. And also, I played Teemo back when, like, mushrooms never disappeared. And I had my own special brand of Teemo. I had what I would call Tankmo, as in Warmogs plus Atma's Teemo. Didn't always work, but when it did work, it worked all the way to the bank, and people left some nasty messages. So that said, now let's talk about this trailer, because it's a very fun trailer. Like, it showcases the character too, but it's a very fun trailer, and definitely a love letter to just the fighting game community as a whole. So let's start at the start here and let's rewind. So one of the big things out of the gate, you've seen it now several times in the trailer, is he has the bush, the League of Legends bush, core to the gameplay of League of Legends. They managed to convert it into a 2D fighting game. And no, it's not a joke, it's not a gimmick, it's integral to his game plan. And in fact, there's a little hint there that's not in the rest of the trailer. This is like for cinematic purposes here, but in the build I played, if Teemo was in the bush for a few seconds, Teemo disappeared off the screen. Just like League of Legends, if you're in the bush for a few seconds, you go invisible. So Teemo could be somewhere in the bush, but you won't exactly be sure where. That's a core gameplay mechanic, or at least it was when I played the previous build. Once again, Teemo is designed to be annoying, and you're going to get a lot of that just off his base moveset here. So he's what we would call a trap zoner. The zoner part, well, you're seeing it right here in the trailer, right? So he has blow darts and he has the slingshot. And he can kind of just fill the screen with trash. And the older build, blow darts did not have infinite range. So it's not like, say, Jinx's rocket or anything like that, but it's quick and annoying and gave him more effective range than a lot of characters. And slingshot's interesting in that it's aimable, at least it was in the older build. So think like Elfelt's rifle in Guilty Gear Exard. So you can kind of like aim it around the map, right? Same deal for his slingshot. So you have multiple angles of attack for his various projectiles. And he also had ways to buff the projectiles as well, beyond just what you're seeing here, and that's going to be in the trailer later, so we'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, so trap zoner, right? So that's the zoner part. What's the trap part? So Teemo can lay obstacles around the map. We can see the bush here, right? And he can do the bush and mushrooms. So new to me is he can teleport to the bush. Teemo's ideal game plan was you get the bush up and you set camp in the bush, right? But you're not always going to be there. But if he can just teleport to it whenever he wants, just because you got him out of place doesn't mean he's out of options. Once again, Trap Zoner is all about screen manipulation as an archetype. And again, and with that in mind, he can lay the mushrooms. So that's very famous, iconic ability his in League of Legends. And yo, it's annoying here because you can plant them on the screen. They will poison you. They can be knocked around with various moves here. He has like a little scout shovel. It's one of his normals, but he can use it to move mushrooms around the screen. So bush, mushrooms, and then all his various projectiles. You can see where this is going. He's going to frustrate you. They know what they're making. That's why in the trailer, like the screen starts glowing red here, like angry, like they know people are going to rage out, right? And on that note, in the trailer, he has air float. So he has like a little burlap parachute, and he can use that to slow fall from his jump angles. So it can create like weird little cross-ups, especially with that right there. So that's jump medium. That's the pizza cutter. It's this stupid thing if you remember your Marvel 3 and Zero's dumb moves. Also, this is where I should mention that Teemo was designed by Marlin Pie, the same person who designed Yasuo. The influences are clear. I do mean that in the most loving way, though. So yeah, at least in the older build, this was kind of straight up busted because like it's just so easy to hit confirm everything. It hits both sides. It's the easiest cross up in the game, or at least it was. Like that's the part that gets the screen red for me because I remember that and I'm like, oh, that move sucked to fight. But right here in the trailer, this is sort of the ideal Teemo game plan. You set up the bush, you set up some traps, you got the mushrooms, just have a lot of garbage flying out of the screen. This is where Teemo's at his happiest. Also, I should note here, this is probably where you're going to want to play Alawi because her 4-tentacle Rekka Slam destroys all projectiles, so you don't have to deal with this stuff. But at the very end of this whole sequence here, you might notice there's a little bit of like a circle above his head, right? So if I remember correctly, he had like a bit of a badge system that he could level up his various moves. You could get poison on the blow darts. You could get fire on his slingshot. Like, the more you did this stuff, it would level up over the course of the match. At least that's how I recall it working. And the fire is very relevant. He has several moves that have fire attached to him because fire can set the bush on fire, basically. And then it becomes basically a thing you can detonate. It's an active giant hitbox on the screen. Like, it will hit you, as you can see here. And also, it causes things like an updraft for your float. So you'll float upwards now because, you know, the heat rises, right? Physics. And basically, it's just another way to have an annoying trap on the screen. And Teemo, as much of a Bandle scout that he may be, has no problems causing uncontrolled forest fires, it would also seem. And here, blink and you'll miss it, but this is the aiming mechanic I was talking about for the slingshot. So you can kind of aim in a little bit of an arc, so you can control how far it goes and the angle it goes at. It's subject to change from what I remember, but it's basically the gist of it. Now, in the trailer, as it shows, Teemo has small normals, right? That crouch light's not going very far, but that's why he has all the various projectile options. And yes, they know he is a devil. So now this whole little sequence here, there's a few things to note because there's a lot going on. So one, when he does the blow dart, you can see that purple badge above his head. So he earned the blow dart badge. And that means for the next bit, his blow darts will be poisonous, do DOT damage. At least that's what was in the build I played. And you can notice other things, like his various normals is just him doing like scout activities, right? Like hitting you with a frying pan, chopping some wood, building a fire. Like it's really cool. And that fire will burn the bush, by the way. So I just like it. Like he has stuff to do. You happen to be in the way. Like I need to chop wood. I need to build a fire. You happen to be in the way. So that's your fault. But I can tell they just had a lot of fun with like all the animations for Teemo. Like it's actually a joy to look at him. And then we come to our first super. So in my old notes here, because I still have my notes, I wrote this down as Leaf Copter. And he'll basically just kind of helicopter while shooting a non-ending stream of blow darts at you. Good for general combo structure and good for annoyance. And this next bit of the trailer, like, yo, they understood the assignment, right? Equal parts cute, cuddly, fuzzy, and also equal parts demon man. Now, we got another super here. This is the big mushroom super. So another element of screen control. And he can bounce these mushrooms around. And they can also move around once you get them going too. So almost like Rashid's whirlwind in a bit. And other projectiles do not interact with it. So again, people are going to be annoyed and frustrated by Teemo by design. And next up, you just get an idea, like some example combo structure here. So floats in, floats very strong, catches the retreating guard, and then gets to hit here. You can chop the wood multiple times, by the way. And then charges up for the Blanca ball. And then one thing that's a little cute here, he effectively has like Chun-Li toe taps with his blow dart. So he can just keep going 3 times. Knocks down the enemy, go for the OTG. And they air recover, which is cool for the trailer. They bait the air recovery, right? And go for the air throw, which is a big bug catching net. And not much else to say here other than, yo, you're going to be annoyed. The move here with like the Bandle scouts coming in, airdropping even more poison mushrooms, though, that's definitely new to me. I'm not sure if they're meant to signify different players because they are different colors than the two Teemos on screen, or what's going on exactly here. Maybe it's just some trailer magic. But at minimum, filling the screen with even more trash. Also, they both seem to have hitboxes as they collide with each other and both explode. So whatever this is, it looks annoying, I guess. It's all about the mushrooms in the end. So a bit more of an animation showcase here. Someone wants to really show you with the frying pan, the eggs in the frying pan and moving around. And you know what? Hey, fair enough. I'd be proud of that animation too. It's pretty sick. And earlier on, I said they had a lot of fun with this trailer. They did have a lot of fun with this trailer. Like, they even got their own in-brand stream monsters just chatting it up. And a lot's actually going on here. So after the launch, Teemo sets up Air Mushroom. And that will count as an OTG. That'll hit him off the ground, right? And using that earns him his mushroom badge, so it makes the mushrooms even better. And while that's happening, since he's not actively hitting the enemy, he has time to set up the bush. Once the badge is up here, Mushroom has greater hit stun, so he has a bit more time to set stuff up. So butt stomp, relaunch the enemy. Gonna use the campfire normal, which once again has fire on it. So it'll set the bush on fire, which has a hitbox. And then wait, what's going on here? How'd that happen? Remember at the top of the video I said if Teemo is in the bush for a while, that he will become invisible? This is exactly that. So when setting up the juggle here, Blitz pulls Alawi back in, and she has to worry about the fire because the bush is now on fire, right? And Teemo is in the bush long enough to gain the invisibility property. Now, while Alawi's worried about blocking the fire, worry about invisible Teemo mixing you up using the pizza cutter, which once again I talked about is an amazing cross-up. So basically, he can force you into situations where you literally won't know which way to block. You just kind of hope you gotta guess right. That's why setting up the bush is so strong for Teemo. Obviously, it gives him combo opportunities because the fire is usable, and the fact it makes him invisible gives him strong mix-up. Said this multiple times now, but yo, he's meant to be annoying because Teemo is annoying. So we go from all that nonsense, he gets the hit, he gets the conversion, and then we're going to go into the big cinematic level 3. And yo, it's very Teemo, is I guess best way to put it. He has an absolutely crazed face, and then he's just bombarding you with mushrooms. Just starts air bombing you with them, and then going for like a final assassin strike with like a deadly serious look on his face. So yeah, that's Teemo, and that is our 10th character for 2XKO. He will launch October the 7th. That's when 2XKO goes into early access. No more closed beta, now early access. And I'm sure a lot of people have fun playing with him and have a lot of fun raging at him when he does all of his nonsense. Also, to close out the trailer here, we got a little bit of a Evo moment 37 here. So doing a lot of parries. His specific parry animation is a lot like Ken's in Third Strike, very much on purpose, because we're doing the whole thing. Whoa, let's go, Justin. All that. Jump, normals, and oh, by the way, the one very much looks like a Shoryuken, funnily enough. They know what they're doing here. They're having fun. I like the 2XKO team. So that's the Teemo trailer. Now, again, some of the things I talked about from the playtest I had 2 years ago, that was 2 years ago, those things are very subject to change. Either could be gone entirely or maybe reworked to some degree. So take all that with a grain of salt. One thing I really hope is different. Like, hey, here are some of my notes from 2 years ago. And in that older build, Teemo, as a rat, suffered from rat syndrome, in that he was too little and combos would straight up miss on him sometimes, depending on the angles. Now, I hope they have figured out in like the Arc System Works way that his hat has a gigantic hurt box or something like that. We don't need any repeats of like, say, Soul Calibur 4 Yoda, where a chunk of your moveset is not effective. Him being lower profile, like in neutral where some things miss, that's okay. But if like you're taking your reliable bread and butter combos and they just start dropping on them, that'll definitely be frustrating. Once again, that was 2 years ago. I have some degree of confidence that's been addressed to a degree that people will find acceptable. The odd thing missing on him, like by design because he's little, that's okay. Just like, you know, Blitzcrank's extra big and he's susceptible, just like Braum, to some fuzzy combos. Teemo definitely won't be susceptible to those same combos. But I just hope for the public's sake at large, the combos people learn in the lab and all that, and they take and try to play the game, have fun, they don't just start dropping on Teemo because Teemo's little. You know, they are designing Teemo to be frustrating to a degree, but that's the kind of frustration that I don't think really anybody's going to have any fun with. And one last thing, the Bandle City stage in the background looks beautiful. I love Bandle City. I love most of the Yordles, even though I normally don't love small people. But like, Corky's cool. I did play a lot of Teemo back in my day. When I played League, I played a lot of Lulu as well. So I don't know. Yordles are cool in my book. Especially this guy, like buff Teemo. How come he's not playable? Where's buff Teemo with super armor? That's the character I want. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure a lot of people got some feelings on Teemo one way or the other. So post in the comments below. And otherwise, that is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some 2xKO.
This is the love making.